Apparently I'm turned off. I am pleased and honored to welcome Mr. Hudun Zhao, the Secretary General of the ITU. Mr. Zhao has come to an IETF meeting before, but this is his first one as Secretary General, and we're very pleased he has joined us. From 1999 to 2006, he was Director of the ITU Standardization Bureau, or ITUT, which many of you may be familiar with. He has spoken of the importance of strong relationships among standards development organizations, such as that between the ITU and the IETF. He was elected Secretary General at the ITU Plenipotentiary Conference in November 2004 and is here today to say a few words to us. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Hudun Zhao.
Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real great pleasure to be with you this morning. This is my traditional starting words. But since, as you mentioned, I had some experiences of cooperation with the IETF. So my first meeting with the IETF was in July 1999 at Oslo. Then I learned that, that the IETF people don't wear ties, and they don't say good morning to Mr. Chairman or Madam Chairman or Lady or something like that. They said, "Hi, I'm here." So I just learned from Williams White's presentation. Then he wanted to send a message, "Hi, I'm here. I can be here." That I can repeat the same thing. "Hi, I'm here." But anyhow, from that message, I also learned something else. That he gave us security considerations, new solutions, and I also met with our chairman of ICANN this morning, Stefan Krecker, and he was also area director of security. And ITU worked in this area for a long time. You remember that in 1988, ITU produced the famous recommendation X509, so public key encryptions. And this is still very important standards used by our Internet family. So ITU and IETF has worked very, very closely over the last 2 decades. But of course, since I'm here with my ties, because I just come from my meeting with the Prime Minister of Czech this morning, so I cannot go to see him without my tie. And then, that I did not see anybody wear ties. Let me take out my tie. Please prepare another applaud. This is something maybe not many young people know. This is a T-shirt I received at the 46th IETF plenary held in Washington, D.C., November 1999. Sally told me I only have 5 minutes. Please don't count this time as part of my 5 minutes. I wear this for you. Is that nice? I cannot remove my tie because after this meeting I have another official meeting. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. And from this slide, I also find some other interesting things. For example, they talked about the ETSI standard. I remember in 1999, when I participated in the 45th Plenary Assembly of IETF under very kind invitation of my good friend, Fred Baker. I saw him now. And at that moment, I really don't know what the IETF was. But I heard that the IETF is a very good Internet Engineering Task Force. And this is a new environment, not similar to ITU's environment, because ITU is so-called intergovernmental organizations, and ITU standardization work as back as 1865, when the first international telegraph regulation was established by ITU. From very beginning up to recently, still, it's membership-driven organizations, And you might have to say that this is some kind of top-down standardization process. And the IETF is something different. It's from a bottom-up. So I'm very pleased to see this kind of gathering this morning, that a presentation given and then challenged by or inquired by different experts. That may not be easily arranged in the ITU process. But anyhow, whether you have a top-down or bottom-up, they all worked for the market, for the new technologies. Therefore, when in 1999, Fred invited me to join that one, I was very pleased to join. And then some of my friends told me that, you have to be prepared. You might be shut down, because this is a totally different environment. And but in the evening, when Fred invited me to make a speech, a presentation of ITU history, I think instead of 5 minutes, people told me, okay, this time, Charlie asked me 5 minutes. And I was there for 35 minutes. And I was applauded by Internet IETF families. Partly because of another reason, that in that evening, I signed agreement between IETF, W3C, and ITU, and AC to support ICANN. And AC was some stories. In the morning, I learned that story because there was not a general support to get AC be part of this agreement, because there was considered as not a global standardization organization. It's a regional organization for Europe, so that should not be there. So in the morning, Fred organized consultation meetings, asked people to vote. Then it's also first time for me to understand the vote in such a way. It's not with ballot. But then he found that it's difficult to understand whether it's really supported or negatively turned down. He said, I do not understand whether you really support or you want to turn down. Can you vote again? Then I found that the people, then he said, now it's agreed. So that was the story I learned that moment. Of course, the 5 minutes is very short. I don't want to stay too much of this time. But it was then, in the evening, we signed agreement, 4 of us, to support the ICANN as a technical liaison officer, organizations. And later on it changed to some other. And then we, 4 of us, rotated roles to join the ICANN board as a technical expert. And then, at that meeting in the evening, I think that the chairman of ICANN, Robert, and the carpenter, Fred Beck, they all published the messages on their website to say that this is historic day. This is a new page changed between ITU and IETF. I think that the message should be still there. I don't know, 16 years later, whether this new page is returned or we have to open another new page. But anyhow, as Secretary General of ITU, I would like to strengthen the importance of IETF for the development, health development of Internet services. I'd like to highlight the importance of cooperation between IETF and ITU for standardization work. I always have this idea that, where we have so-called need of cooperation, which means you may have some competitive work there. But anyhow, I wish not damage the environment, just to fight for our own sides. That when you have this issue of cooperation, and when you meet some competitive environment, we should look at very good opportunities to find some compromise. And we did that under the leadership of Fred Beck. We developed a memorandum for cooperation between ITU-T and IETF. I hope that document is still there. And over the last decade, we see very good development of cooperation between ITU-T and IETF. For the MPLS and some other areas, we had a very good cooperation. And also from the presentation of this previous topic, we talked about the intellectual property and we talked about the intelligent transport system. ITU is also working in this area. We work with ISO, IEC, and European ECE to address this intelligent transport system. And every year in March, we organize a workshop in Geneva, just prior to the opening of Auto Show in Geneva, to talk about this issue. So I'm very pleased to see a lot of useful ideas here. I'd like to encourage further cooperations between IETF and ITUT and ISO and the others for the benefit of the global society, for the future intelligent transport system. And of course, I also found from that presentation, they talked about the IoT, Internet of Things. As you might have noted that IoT was largely promoted by ITU as early as in 2003, 2005. And I'm very pleased to advise you that at the beginning of June this year, ITUT agreed to set up a new study group for Internet of Things. We call it the study group 20. And again, this time, this is new to ITU process because we normally establish our study group at the plenary assembly of ITUT. And this is the first time at those internal meeting, administrative meeting, so-called TSAC meeting, that people agreed to set up it. I still remember another very good comment from Fred Beck, that in 1999, I was at the plenary, I told them that ITU is changing its environment from 4 years approval period, now moved to 18 months. And we are going to 9 months. And very soon we try to speed up our process to 3 months. And then Fred Beck said that you are moving too fast. I think that he has a reason. Sometimes it's not that good to move too fast. That you have to, particularly with your intelligent transport system, too fast may not be that good. Sometimes we have to be realistic. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I think that that 1999, 14th of July, 1999, I believe that was one of the Wednesday, because that is traditionally IGF have its administrative assembly. And this time, under the kind invitation from Cathy, and she come to me last year saying, in September, she said, can you come to join us again? I said, it's a great pleasure if I'm elected as Secretary General. He said, no, you will be elected. So after my election, October last year in Busan, she come back to me again, can you join us IDF meeting Hawaii? Hawaii is the favorite place for Chinese, for me. I like to go, but unfortunately I cannot make it. So then she suggested that check today. I said, yes, let me block this date. So I blocked this date from last November to make sure that I'll be placed to come back to IDF families once more again. So I'm very pleased in the end I got this opportunity to meet of you. Of course, this morning, unfortunately, this is not the administrative assembly, it's a technical assembly. And you are talking about the technical issues. Since I have to be back to Geneva tomorrow, I cannot join this administrative assembly tomorrow, so that sorry to disturb your process of a technical debate. So let me just repeat my message here, that I would like to strengthen cooperation between ITU and ISOC, IETF, IAB, ICANN, for the benefit of our global families. Of course, global families are not talking about those already connected online. Let me tell you, last week I was in Madagascar, Comoros, and these two countries, Africa, east part of Africa, these island countries, the internet penetration is still less, around 5%. And globally, our developing world is around 10 to 15%, but that two countries even lower. And even in the developing country, in Czech, for example, it's around 70%, as announced. But still, you have 30% not connected yet. I met with Prime Minister of Singapore, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, beginning of June. And he told me in person that don't believe that everybody in Singapore is already connected online. And he gave me a story that yesterday, that means 1st of June, he met people on the street, and he told them that for any question you want, I can send to you by email. And those two people told him that I do not have email address, which means they're not connected, at least when they're in Singapore. So that Prime Minister told me that don't believe that everybody is connected. Of course, Minister tried to tell me that these immigrants, they may not have permanent residence yet. But anyhow, that this is the case, and according to ITU statistics, according to your statistics as well, 2/3 of people has not connected online yet. And half of the population has not connected by mobile phones. Although we have 100% penetration everywhere, but still, you have more mobile phones in your pocket. That means if you divide by 2, that the half population is not connected yet. So this is a topic I discussed with the Prime Minister Czech this morning. So I'd like to invite head of states, head of government to support the further development of ICT and telecom everywhere in the world. We need their support. We need a further investment to improve our infrastructure, to increase the security, to offer the better quality of services to our population. But there's a very, very strong perceptions that the ICT and telecom is self-developed industry. And in many countries, they consider this is a profit-making industry. Therefore, you don't need to give further attention to support them, to give them further investment. But just imagine, those people not connected yet are those people in the poor area. Not much profit-making for the business community. So we have to work even harder. And in Madagascar and Comoros, when we talked about this with the president, with prime ministers, they even told me that for them, more importantly, they should have energy, power. When I met with the president of Comoros, without the power, we were just in the room without power, without the electricity. So for them, the electricity is even more difficult. So to connect these people is a real challenge to us, and we have to work hard. And through United Nations process, we noted that with the planned replacement of MDG by SDG, among 17 goals of SDG, new goals after 2015, only 2 mentioned the reference of ICT and telecom power to support social development. It's not enough. So I invited head of states, head of governments to support us with their political support, with their social support, so that our industry, ICT, telecom industry, mobile industry, internet industry, can have further investment from public, from private, and can have good support from the host community. So I also encourage you, maybe not only to talk about those new technologies for those already connected, I also encourage you to find innovations to support those people not connected with some technologies, feasible, sustainable, and accessible. So this, and also, that should be, with the price acceptable to those poor people as well. So that is not easy, it's a challenge. But anyhow, I'm pretty sure with good cooperation from our industry, from our private sectors, government and whole society will be benefit from all this innovation, from this strong investment. I think that the 5 minutes is already reached, so Sally asked me to step down. So let me just say last word. I wish you all great success. I'm very pleased to see that, again, after 16 years in Europe, we still have the room full, and we still have experts, dynamic, energetic, to work on the new technologies and still keep this bottom-up approach. And I think that is a great success of EDF family, and wish you all success in the future. Thank you very much. Of course, try find time to join ITU activities as well. We will welcome you to ITU, and some of you are already members of industry to be our delegates, and unfortunately you have to wear ties there. And but anyhow, you know that next time if you come without ties and anybody criticizes you, you bring them to my office and tell them that the Secretary General did not. No, I wear ties, but we. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah?
As you know, we often have activities here, and on Saturday we had a hackathon here in order to build and deploy some of the code that we're working on. So we have here a T-shirt for you from the hackathon. So a new one, that's right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
very
much. No. Let me say that this is also very dynamic industry. You know, this T-shirt was sponsored by Nokia. Nokia was very strong to, that moment. But, today we do not see Nokia anymore. So this is a very tough competition. So that is another message I conveyed to our head of state governments, that don't believe that this industry is always, profit-making, self-development. If anything, goes wrong, or if they're not strong anymore, they could be eliminated very easily. So don't just consider them always profit-making. Give them maximum support. Let them to become strong in the market. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I keep it this way. Thank you.